Hey, this is Mongolian Mindset. Me and Thomas are gonna be interviewing Bo, how you say it?
Benoni?
Benoni.
Israel?
Benoni. It's Italian?
No.
No. No. You don't have to go into any traumas or anything like that. The general stuff. We'll be asking you questions and we'll triangulate down your best fit type. You're free to do with that you feel you need to. Can you introduce yourself?
Oh, anyway, uh, Benoni, but people mostly call me Ben, um, or Benji. Some people, they have different nicknames, but I am, I'd say, generally a sociable person. I
Mhm.
like to socialize with people. That's pretty much my primary MO. I like things like this, so I'm kind of a little bit of a scholarly individual. I like to kind of map certain things in my head. I've been actually studying various aspects of Jungian analytical psychology for probably about 7 years.
Ooh, wow.
Um, uh, Started off with the MBTI. I actually reverse engineered a lot of the frameworks of the MBTI, but went off from there to actually find different communities. So I had been on personality database and things like that. At first, I had mistyped as a whole bunch of different types. I
Mhm.
mistyped as an ENTJ. I mistyped as an ENTP. I mistyped as an ENFJ. But even though I think I know my type,
Mhm.
I'm still open to, you know, being typed again,
Mhm.
maybe from an external source.
Mhm.
Uh,
Okay.
Personally, I do think I'm an ENFP,
Okay.
but I've mistyped as many types. And I'd say a close second for me, I'm an ISTJ, based on developmental principles and the actual cognitive functions, how they actually interplay,
Mhm.
at least my current understanding. I've looked at another system that I like the way the system is run. It's pretty practical, not necessarily the most fond of the individual that's running it at all.
Mhm.
His name's C.S. Joseph. I don't know if
Mhm.
you've heard of him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah, his system, well, I won't call it his system because really a lot of this stuff is based off of Linda Barrens and other things like that.
Mhm.
This stuff, I mean, at the end of the day, we're working off older material. And really, I go to source material like Carl Jung.
Mhm.
So going back, my background, to me, I'm interested in psychology. That's the
Mhm.
basic premise. So I'm interested enough to dig into these things. That's kind of why I'm here,
Mhm.
to uncover a new layer, a new perspective firsthand. I watched a previous video from Mongolian Mindset where you typed um, an INTJ. And well, I thought that was interesting. I liked the line of questioning. It wasn't as rigid as I've seen certain systems,
Mhm.
um, which is nice. Um, that's the basic premise for me. I am studying to be a nurse currently. I have my school paid for, which is really nice.
Mhm.
In my mid 20s, I have a house. I don't have kids yet, things like that. So
Mhm.
basically, that's basically me. So,
Okay, perfect. What do you want to be remembered for?
oh, I definitely want to be remembered for the impact that I made on people's lives, direct impact. Like I, it'd be nice, you know, if the people, if when I die, the people that I did associate with, they knew me for good reasons. Uh, but more importantly, I want to be remembered by God. That's basically my primary mission in life. There's nothing more important in life than going to the one direction towards God. I don't care what that takes.
Mhm.
Um, that's what I need to do. Uh, of course, I'm not necessarily the best at performing that vision, But that's the main thing. If I could be remembered for anything, is that this man loved God, and by loving God, he loved what God loves, and he didn't love evil. You know, that's to me what the definition of seeking, loving God, going on his path. If I could be remembered for anything, it'd be that. Now, the impact, this would be like my personal journey. I'd love to have an impact. And I think the best impact I can have is to change myself first, or allow myself to change first. Because I really can't change the world if I'm not allowing myself to change. Because I do not have in my capacity and wheelhouse currently what is required to actually change other people to the fullest extent and finish that. So,
how long have you been in following God or Christian? I don't know if you're Christian or you're Christian.
Well, I won't say I call myself a Christian. I won't say I put any other label than a believer. I do not like denominational thinking. Not a big fan of that. I'm a big fan of what's the truth. Okay, if I can find the truth, that's the thing that will set me free. Now, coming to the truth is difficult, but that's the main enchilada for me. Not a label, just a believer.
You find it very hard to come to the truth on things, or how does that play out?
Well, actually, I have a reasonable. I have two aspects. One, it depends on what truth, and the other, I'm generally amenable to truth. I'm quite open-minded to what could be true, right? And so in that, I have kind of a sense that something is more true than something else. I lean with that. For some reason, I personally believe that there are things in me that are able to recognize certain truths that other people are not. And other truths, they'll always be hard to swallow. Okay, what's a truth that I know about myself? I'm not a good person. Okay, there's nothing good about me. I don't have to have done evil to know that I'm not a good person, right? I don't have to do good or evil. That doesn't mean I have to beat myself over the head about it all the time. It just needs to be recognized that, I mean, only God can be good. I mean, that's my truth. I only say my because I'm able to accept it, but I do believe that's the truth. Other people may not accept it. And I'm not necessarily willing to force that upon them, but that's my main principle.
Okay. Do you believe anything could be good or bad?
No, not anything can be good or bad. It's just not true. Not anything.
Okay. Do you believe anything can be true or false?
Not anything can be true or false. Right? Some things, there are certain things that are truth, there are facts, and then there's things that are just false. Facts can change. Facts are like consequences. We have, in the legal terminology, we have the facts of the situation, we have the circumstances, circumstantial evidence. See, those are things subject to change. They may be true today, but they may not be true tomorrow. So like a fact, I'm fat. It's true today, but it's not the truth because it could not be true tomorrow. It's mutable. Truth, that is truth, is immutable. You could go through the entire hierarchy and it will always be true. Now, what the truth may be, if I am fat, the truth is the core of that. There is something actually wrong with me. That's why I am fat. The why is the truth more than the what. See? That's the delineation that needs to be made. And a lot of people, they focus on the what of truth, not the why. The why is the truth all day, every day. And everyone's trying to answer why, really. The scientists try to answer why. why is the universe this way? Like, why? I mean, they really do, even though they always talk about the what's, they're consistently talking about the what's, but every one of them really actually would want the why. If given an opportunity to know the why, they would want to know. I personally believe everybody.
Okay. If you had 3 wishes, what would you wish for and why?
Ooh, okay. I'll delineate two paths. So, one, what should I wish for? Two, if I had 3 wishes, what if from my own lust, what would I wish for? Okay, what I should wish for is that I am sealed in God, that everyone that I touch is sealed in God, and that throughout, no matter what happens, right, that the type of sealing that is, no matter what happens, I'm just, it's immutable seal. The other side of the equation is just my lust. Okay, personally, if I could, I would have the ability to have full spectrum time manipulation. That's what I would do. Full spectrum. I mean, and the analogy that I came up with, which is infinite save games. I could always reload to a previous save, and I'd always have other save games. I'd have like 5-year-old been here, 7-year-old been here, but I'd have multiple files. I'd have so many different files that I could load each one and okay, I'll load it up. Let's try that one. Like, what if I make these mistakes? What if I don't? Another one, which is maybe just a simple practicality, would be teleportation, right? It would be nice to just be able to snap. I don't have to worry about visas. I don't have to worry about passport. I don't have to worry about travel expenses. And if I could teleport other people with me, then I could get paid for that. Like I would come up to as many rich people as I could, and I'd say, hey, for a low price of like, I want to say $1 million per trip, you can go instantly wherever you need to go. Just give me the time and place, and I'll do it. And then the last thing would be, I would want to know exactly what to say and when to say it, right? I would want to know. I'd want to have complete knowledge perspective to know what to say and when to say it and who to say it to, right? Those would be my 3 wishes. But I also have to, yeah. I can explain further, but I'll also move on to your next question. I'll let you. I don't want to take up too much time.
No, man. This is all yours. We're just listening, man.
Anyway, to explain those 3 things, though, there's a problem with each one of them. That to me, it would be bad if I had those. It'd be bad. I'd get away with some hairy stuff. That's how I know that I'm not a good person is because if I had power, I wouldn't use it correctly. And so I need to learn how to use power correctly before I ever get into power. I'll deny myself power, before I could ever use it correctly. Because I am personally afraid of what I would do with power. I don't want to destroy people. I don't want to destroy myself. See, I'd probably use all those powers to just do whatever I wanted when I wanted to do it. And that would be that. And that would be unfair. Well, it would actually just destroy me because how can I get to God that way? I need to be content actually with the lesser, not the greater. But that's what I got.
Okay. What do you think is one thing that's wrong with humanity?
Ooh, okay. It goes back to one of our previous questions, the inability to come to truth. Okay. If everyone was enabled to come to truth regarding themselves and other people, that's a full spectrum. It's kind of almost, it's so easy to say that, without providing proper details. But here's some of the details as to why truth would be the main factor. there are so many people that have terrible parents. And there are so many people that had terrible parents on top of them. You know, there are family structures that are missing. There are structures of humanity that are actually out of whack, that we live in bizarro world, that we live in a world, almost like the Matrix says, you've been living in a dream world, Neo. See, you take the blue pill, story ends, you wake up believing whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you go down the rabbit hole and see how far this rabbit hole goes, you know? And so Neo makes that choice. Now, I'm not necessarily a full proponent of taking the red pill, but if the red pill is truth, I do believe that's worth more than believing in lies. You know, I do believe that people that are willing to continuously go headlong into their own destruction, right? And they don't know it. It's like, if they don't want to believe that that's destruction, that's okay, you know. And I don't have to. I can be judgmental, right, towards individuals. I have peeled back the onion and said, I'm not going to be judgmental as much to them. Let me be judgmental to me, right? The person I need to judge more is myself. Some people disagree with that, like, no, you shouldn't judge yourself. I disagree. I should judge myself so that I will have no need to be judged when the judgment comes. So the ability for me to come to truth is exceptionally important. The ability for anyone else to come to truth is exceptionally important. And wisdom is the principal thing. Get wisdom, but in all you're getting, get an understanding. So that wisdom comes from love. Okay, that is actually the truth. The truth and love, you can't have them inseparably. That's why truth is such a catch-all. But the details of truth is you should love God with everything that you have, with all of your heart, with all of your mind, with all of your soul. Okay, and you should love other people as you love yourself. But that's not as you think you should love yourself. See, whatsoever men should do to you, do to them. What they should do, because you don't do things right to people, so you can't base yourself as the standard. That's not the standard. You know, I believe there is a higher standard. That's the truth, and it's grounded in love. That we're not going to settle for the lesser. We're gonna go above and beyond that. Of course, that's very idealistic. In my personal estimation, not many people are going to actually come to that acknowledgement. I'm pretty pessimistic about the world's ability to come to truth. But that's the main thing. If I could change in the world, because there's this movie, really good movie, or I don't want to say it's not necessarily that good, but it's funny. The Invention of Lying. And the whole movie is this guy is the only one that can lie. Everyone else supposedly doesn't lie, but the movie doesn't actually show a society where everyone doesn't lie. See, if everyone actually didn't lie, they wouldn't even be able to commit crimes because it's in your heart that you say it's okay to do certain things. You've already said it in your heart. You've literally said, oh, that's okay, so I'm going to do it. You push past the place. See, nobody's actually going to do something, right, saying to themselves continuously, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. They may know it's wrong, but they're going to be like, even though it's wrong, I'm still going to do it. They may know it's wrong, but they're going to still do it. So, see, that's the thing at play. Is it don't matter if see in order for you not to lie, you'd have to basically say that all of us were wrong and we need God. That's the only way to get out of that. But yeah, that's very belief oriented. So it's like I can't impress that on everybody. But some people, they might believe me, you know, because I'm pretty emphatic about it. But I'm only trying to convince them softly, hopefully not through, you know, when I was a kid, I used to do that. I used to beat people up. I used to say, man, are you kidding me? What are you, stupid or something? I mean, I would berate people pretty bad for them not believing those things, you know, because to me that they weren't good people. Now I'm not concerned about whether or not they're not good people. I'm concerned whether or not I'm not a good person.
Awesome. What do you think about Andrew Tate?
That's it. I don't know enough to truly have a good answer on that. Actually, I can accept that I don't know enough about that. My basic, you know, almost rumor mill idea is I think he probably says things that are not actually edifying towards the people that are listening. Okay, this is the problem with any um, personality or politician. Anybody that's in the limelight is always going to be tinged with the perceptions, right? And that's going to cause problems. You know, I know this because that's me too. I can be tinged just as tinged. That's why I wouldn't want to be in those positions, because I think it's dangerous. And it's very difficult to work in our political system and not be tinged with that. You can't survive in that, actually. You have to be a figurehead. You have to play by a certain rule. Just you have to be slimy enough. You just have to be slimy enough to get through. If you're not slimy enough, you got to be just a little bit slimy. And I don't know to what degree. I don't know the minimum. And I'd rather not. That's also why, even though I've thought in my head, man, I could be an actor, right? Because I know how to memorize lines and I have an expressive aspect to me. I don't want to be, because I realize the industry is all wrecked. It's all messed up. And I know that the end of me would not be good for that. So I need to make my change in the world smaller. But Andrew Tate, sorry, I'm going way off. Andrew Tate is only going to be susceptible, because I know that he's a big personality. He's only going to be susceptible to those things. He's going to be highly susceptible to the perception vector. And that's going to cause him to act, behave in certain ways that are not conducive of what you ought to if you have that level of influence. See, it's a bad thing to have influence and to wield it incorrectly, because you lead plenty of people, other people, to their destruction. But to say I'm not particularly angry at the guy, nothing he says really offends me much, you know. But I just think that the damage that he's doing, I don't like that. That the potential for damage that he's doing in people's lives. That's why I have to be. I've gotten a lot more careful about who I'm willing to talk to and how I'm willing to talk to them. You know, cast not your pearls before swine, neither give your bread to the dogs, lest the swine trample the pearls under their feet, and the dogs turn again and rend you. See, the truth is not meant for everyone to reach. I have to give everyone a little piece, but if they're unwilling, I'm not there to destroy them. I'm not there to judge them, and I don't want to cause them grief and pain. They can go their way. You know, that's their way. So, and Tate is one of those vectors that plenty of people will follow. People like that, and there's very few people in power that I don't view that way. Very few, because it takes a lot of personal integrity to actually get into a position like that and actually do the right thing. And the church is a big proponent of bad things in the world. That's what sucks. Okay, Andrew Tate is I would say, assume is a sort of charlatan. That's my basic assumption, but I'm not sure. But generally, there are plenty of charlatans to go around. He's not the only one. So.
Awesome. Thomas, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I think we know what's what again. So
all right, man. Are you ready, or you want to keep talking?
No, I'm ready.
All right, man. So it's very easy to see that you're very informative. That means you give a lot of extra information. You don't really like to tell people what to do. That's why you give people information. It's a different type of communication. So you're informative. You're very abstract. Everything you were saying, very abstract. So you're informative, abstract. That means you're either NFP or NTP. Dude, you're very focused on the fucking truth. Sorry to bust it to you. You're not a NFP. You're a TI user. Only people that are focused on the truth are TI users. TI is truth. Okay. FI is values and what they value. Okay. Everything about you is all about the truth. Like all about the truth. Everything, even when you talk about like certain people can't reach the truth, you know, but I can give them small truths here and there. Like everything you say is about arriving to the truth. ENFPs have a terrible time arriving to the truth because they have TI in the worst spot that you can have it in, which is this trickster spot.
Yeah.
But like I'm saying here, you seem to be very good with that. You're also systematic. You talk about frameworks, things like that. And your progression, you're initiating, you're extroverted. So we have you as an ENTP. It's pretty, and you look And funny enough, you look like Andrew Tate. It's very funny. You look exactly like him. That's why I asked you, what do you think about Andrew Tate?
Well,
Very similar, even to like the ears and everything. You just have hair, and Andrew Tate's bald.
yeah. I will say, I disagree with you. I actually still believe I'm not. Hopefully,
Oh,
can I
I mean,
say
we can go for it. Go for it. Well,
can I say this, right?
why do you think ENFP?
I still think ENFP because more than affirmations, it takes affirmations can be inconclusive when determining true origin of cognition. This is just my personal opinion. Because for all practical purposes, introverted feeling can take on a similar form and flavor as introverted thinking in certain people. Not in everybody, not saying in everybody, but you have to consider other behaviors. This is what wasn't asked in the situation, which brings light to this. My behaviors are different than my affirmations. Okay, just because I affirm this truth, okay, does not mean that I walk in it so stridently. That's the issue that I take with believing for a surety that based on my affirmations I'm an ENTP. Okay. When it comes to introverted feeling and introverted sensing in me, they both run hand in hand. I am quite an emotional person towards like inwardly. I mean, like legitimately, I've had to grow to this place. I have to tell you, have I always been this way that I'm right now? No, I haven't always been this way.
So another thing that we've noticed with ENTPs is that they either, some of them are Enneagram 4 and some of them are Enneagram 7, and the emotions that they actually have inside usually comes from being like Enneagram 4. People really don't even realize that, ENTPs struggle with their emotions, but generally speaking, it's because, well, I've noticed, even my brother, he's way more emotional than I ever saw on the outward. Outwardly he looks very stoic, but inwardly, as I got older and learned about him more, that he has a whole bunch of emotions inside that, like, he just going crazy. So you'll see that a lot with those guys. And sometimes you'll see will argue a case for something and then don't even know that they're being emotional about the thing that they're arguing about. Because the FI is so weak. It's in the 7th spot. It's a trickster. So like a lot of time it can trick them into believing that they're actually good at it when they're actually not. That's one of the roles of the trickster.
So, odd question. Throughout my childhood, I've had more of a difficulty actually like picking up on the social cues of others. Is that conducive of an ENTP?
I mean, picking up the social cues. So that's going to be FE. That's going to be FE. And the ENTP has FE child. So it's not the best at picking up social cues. And plus, you're also pragmatic. So pragmatic people are rebellious, contrarians, and things like that. Rules are more of the affiliative type thing. Because that's all about the group. That's all about inclusion. That's all about, and ENFPs are all about the group, the inclusion, things like that. While ENTPs are independent mindset, autonomy. They believe in like things through metrics, stuff like that. As the ENFP, it's all about inclusion, cooperation, stuff like that. The group, what does the group want to do? You're not like that. So it's pretty easy to see that you're not an ENFP.
Here's the thing, right? Is it possible?
Yeah.
Right? Is it possible that if I
and then you're using if right now, you're about to use a syllogism, which is a if this then that statement, which is another proponent of deduction, which is TI. You're about to hit me with one right now. I just cut you off from using it. So like you'll notice ENFPs, dude, they have the worst time with logic, the worst time, because it's in the 7th spot. Like there's a video that I have on the short where I asked ENFP, do she believe anything could be true or false? And she's like, yes. Like they believe anything because you can so many angles that they can't arrive to the truth.
That's because they're not well learned. Because see, TE child is able to garner the same appreciation for the truth if people are actually focused on it, right? And I don't know in your system, do you believe in developments? Do you believe in four-side dynamics?
I believe in development. I'm not so sure. I'm not so into like the four sides dynamic as much, but I do believe that there's development, obviously. But I mean, John Beebe only goes into the shadow, you know. So you have your ego and then the shadow. That's what John Beebe has. I think I wrote him about the four-side dynamic, and he wrote me back. I can't remember exactly what he said. I have to go reference that again, but he did say something on the lines of it seemed to be a little not underwhelming or at some points to it or something. It doesn't completely put everything together or something that John Beebe said. I have to go read the email or something that he said. But that's like the gist of it. But yeah, what were you gonna say?
Well, yeah, I was going to say is, developmentally speaking, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is my understanding based on a four sides dynamics, is that my subconscious, so to speak, would be a ISTJ, but my unconscious would be an INFJ, right? The reason being is because I personally still believe I have TI trickster. It's just I've taken time to absorb TI from sources. See,
that'd be TE, and you wouldn't be defining things because you define things your own way. Like early on, I wrote down that you said defining definition of love and God. Like you wrote down like you were talking about your definition, and you were like, this is my definition. When you say this is my definition, that means this is my TI. Okay, instead of saying this is what the sources told me, which is TE. This is what the sources say. This is what the credible person says. This is what this person said. You're not doing that. You're redefining it yourself, defining it and packaging it in your own way. As in people who are T users, they go to the outside sources, absorb them, and then use them and reference them. Dario Nardi said this. John Beebe said this. Linda Barrens said this. So they're using outside information.
I really hate to continue this. I'd really hate to continue this debate, but
I love it. Go for it.
Cut me off if you get annoyed, because I don't want to.
You good.
I hate to be someone that goes against someone else's opinion in this place.
Contrarian, go ahead, go for it. Pragmatic.
It's only because I've established that this is true. Like I really have.
Yeah.
It took time to establish that this is true.
Well, the truth isn't. You can't see the thing about the truth is it's not easy to come to all the time. Like you have to take time with it. It digs deep. As in TE doesn't really dig as deep. It takes kind of almost like a surface level thinking a lot of the time. So like a lot of times people with TI will be like, yo, you didn't even dig deeper enough. Like you didn't even dig deep enough. Like they'll come with like some surface level shit, especially TE child. TE child is like notoriously bad at it. Like they'll come with some bullshit from like some blog spot sometimes, and you're like, yo, what the fuck is this? What is this? Like this is not even close to the truth. And they'll be like, oh well, it's very bad, very bad.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't disagree in the majority of ENFP cases. Right?
Well, let's take what's his name? Ty Lopez, ENFP. That man, he quotes everybody and their mama. That's what T does. Oh, I got a book from here. I got this is from that's a fuck. Can't even think of an author right now, but that's Dario Nardi. This is from
Warren Buffett. The Warren Buffett billionaire said, "The more you earn, the more you buy Lamborghinis." Yeah.
Yeah, that's all TE, dude. As a reference in other sources.
I reference other sources though. How can I reference so many of other sources? I just don't tell you that I'm referencing other
Yeah, that's
sources.
TI though. But like a TE is gonna make sure that they reference. Well, I got this from Linda Barrens, page 3. Right here is where I got it. They're not really like defining it in their own brain. Like it's not making sense to them. Like they're not making sure that it makes sense to them. TI makes sure that things make sense to them. You get what I'm saying? Like TI is gonna make sure it makes sense to them. TE, it don't even have to make sense. They just, oh, the expert said I'm taking it. And that actually produces a lot of hole in the people who have weaker TE. Or you can even see that like somebody like yourself who is TI parent, they can just like hit people all day because they, especially when you bring like sources to them. Like my brother, no matter what I get, if I like bring him like I could be doing a PubMed article or something, and he just rips through the sources. Oh, this is bad because of this. This conclusion is wrong because of this. Like he just shreds straight through it. I'm like, oh fuck, man. Now whatever I got is trash. And that's like T critic. It's like, oh, right here, this control is wrong, and they should have used this as the variable. This whole thing, and now it's like this whole thing is questionable. Now I gotta throw it away. He could just dig through sources like that.
But
Critic.
what if I just don't seek very many sources? What if I'm a TE user that secludes themselves? I close out other sources and I focus on a particular source. See,
Well, then you would reference that for everything, because you wouldn't have. They generally don't have a thought of themselves. They are thought vampires. Okay, ENFPs are thought vampires. They don't generally have a actual original thought. Generally, what like a lot of people say, they don't have an original thought in their brain. Is what some people would say. Unfortunately, I know it sounds very mean to the ESFPs and ENFPs out there, but yeah, when it comes to deduction, they really struggle with that. If this and that, oh my God, shut them down. There's a YouTuber, I think his name is like, I forget what the old guy name is, but he like pulls out these if this and that, like, oh, if your brother is this and your sister is this, and then what is your cousin, your mom, and then people have to use deductive reasoning to figure it out, which is TI, which is what you use a lot, and the ENFP, ESFPs drop the ball on that every time.
I used to use FI more. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
I use TI more because I've put myself in the presence. I've literally let myself change. I've literally let myself be like grinded, okay, by two massive TE users with a TI internal, okay, an ENTJ and an INTJ. And they've been in my life for long enough that they're like, well, you're thinking wrong. You might want to think differently. And I've submitted myself because I believe that they're good sources. See, I mean, to me, I think they're good sources.
Okay.
And one has an exceptional amount of experience.
I'm gonna hit you another one. So there's really not much you can do with the trickster, really. Only thing you could do with the trickster is actually develop the parent, and that may help you a little bit. But generally speaking, just having some type of awareness, or you have to have somebody else to like actually help you there. So you would actually need somebody else to help you with TI. Like you would need someone else to help you with TI. It wouldn't just like if you were in a environment where you had to use TI, you'd have to go to somebody else because that field would just destroy you. It's like if somebody put me in a field with SI, it puts me straight to sleep. I do not want to deal with all those damn details. I do not I forget something tomorrow. Like you're putting me in where my trickster's at. Horrible. You're gonna get horrible results for me. Like, and there's really nothing you can do to defend the trickster. You can have a little bit of awareness. You can have a little bit of awareness and be like, oh shit, maybe I can come up with a system to stop or to be better with the trickster. You could devise some type of system, but it still doesn't hold up that well. Still, like you still make those mistakes.
You don't develop a system. You see the key with an ENFP actually learning how to use TI is to literally spend their time being etched by TE users to their own hurt. let them cry it through, and they will learn how to think.
Well,
See, I trained how to.
what they would do is they would just regurgitate those TE users, but they're not learning to think for themselves. They'll just regurgitate what they've heard. There's a difference between regurgitation and actually thinking, because there's two different types of logic. There's deductive reasoning, and there's inductive reasoning.
Yeah.
TE is inductive reasoning. TI is deductive reasoning. If you're following.
Yeah, no, I understand those principles. Actually, I know them.
Mm-hmm.
And TI, that's what's been said plenty of times.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really disagree as a general principle. I just think it's difficult for anyone to say that I don't have inductive reasoning, like a good command of inductive reasoning, just because I can, in this place, in this forum, present a lot of TI. You know, like I present a lot of deductive TI reasoning, just because in this place, whereas really, you know, I've done a lot of inductive reasoning when it comes to like statistics, wide spectrum data analysis.
Well,
I mean,
we could go back to it again, but the thing about ENTPs is they have strong TI, and they have the critic is actually very strong itself. A lot of times it can be even actually stronger than your second function. Okay. So
itself can actually be stronger than.
Yes, because it's a critic. So you'll see some INTJs who actually have very strong TI from that critic position, or you'll see ENTP who they're actually very good with TE, especially ones that read a lot. Actually very good with TE. And you'll see like sometimes with ISTPs, you'll see SI come out a lot because the critic's actually a very strong spot. It can be either as equal to the parent or sometimes even stronger.
Okay.
So if you were ENFP, you would have FE very strong, you know, with FI. That's why like a lot of them can manipulate the pants off people. You'll see like Ty Lopez, Gary Vaynerchuk, Tony fucking Robbins. Those are all ENFPs. Yeah. Andrew Tate is an ENTP.
Okay.
And he gets people with deductive logic. If you watch any interview with him, you'll hear him say this, if this, then that type things, or doing deductive logic. But that doesn't mean it's always correct, but it makes sense to him. What makes sense to him? He's not going off what Dario Nardi says. He's going to read Dario Nardi stuff, and if it doesn't make sense to him, reject Dario Nardi stuff. Just that simple. ENTP reads a book, they take what they deem the truth and reject the rest of it. As an ENFP will just absorb all of it. You know what I'm saying?
I absorb multiple viewpoints, though.
Multiple viewpoints is NE, which is your hero function.
Okay, so NE
viewpoint is NE. So looking at multiple perspectives, that's NE.
So then, how am I not affiliative? Because to me,
affiliative is all about inclusion. It's about the group. It's about cooperation. They don't really have autonomy. They like when roles are given to them. Pragmatic people don't like you to give them a role or a job. Like, hey, bro, you're gonna do this job. Like, they don't really like that because they like autonomy. They like the ability to choose. They like to do what they want. Pragmatic. I mean, contrarians. Their utilitarian mindset is more of the pragmatic. As the affiliative is about like cooperation, inclusion, the group, assign roles. They're gonna ask permission before they do something. Always ask permission. Oh, is it okay if I do this? If it's okay if I do this? Pragmatic people ain't gonna do that. They're gonna break the rules and then ask for forgiveness if they get in trouble for it. They're not gonna ask you to do something.
Well, here's what I think, though.
And you're systematic. You're systematic. That's another thing. ENFPs are not systematic.
I believe it's the ISTJ aspect of me.
No, see, that's how you're getting, like, that's how people like do that 4 sides of mind, and they could be anything. I can be ISFJ with 4 sides of mind. Oh, you know what? I'm in this mindset and blah blah blah. Like, no. You have a primary way that you communicate majority of the time, and that is your ego. But with the four sides of mind, you can say, oh my God, ISFP. Oh shit, and I can make a case that I'm a super ego, and it's coming from the super ego, and then I'm jumping to the subconscious. No. You have a primary thing that you use. Okay. It's easy to see. Anybody check the comments on this video, they're gonna be laughing. As Victor says, ENTPs take forever to figure out. They're like go in a circle. Let me see if I have it in the Discord, because Victor always posts it.
I like inclusion. I do things to enable inclusion, though. It's just I don't like the ideas that people hold. There's a difference, you know. Like I want people to be included. I just won't always agree with the ideas that they have because it hurts them. Like literally, how can I not have an affiliate vector for truth? That's the thing.
Well, you're confusing your extroverted feeling, you know, child version, your extroverted feeling. It can come off affiliative, but at the end of the day, you like the autonomy, you like the freedom, you like to have to be independent, you like to be able to make your own choices. If you're affiliative, you're with the group. What the group want to do, what the group say, you know.
I do want what the group wants to. It's just it's a particular group. I know that I've had to peel back the layers. Like I've literally had I used to roll with the group. I used to do that a lot. And then I realized that I was doing it. I came to truth. Right? I think it's possible that me as an ENFP, I believe I came to truth. And what happened was,
how old are you again?
25.
25. You believe you master your trickster function by 25. Honest to God.
I didn't master it.
I mean, that's essentially what you're saying. I mean, I could go pull these people that are like 70 years old that ain't mastered the trickster function.
It's because they didn't put themselves in the right environment. Like literally,
if you want to believe that, man, people want to believe they special, but I tell you a lot of times
people aren't really special.
You would be special if you master the trickster by 25.
The other people in my life are special.
Nah, it's bullshit, man.
It's not.
You should go master your FI, man. That's the weak spot of an ENTP.
All right. Well,
yeah.
I think we're on this chord. So
yeah, it's all good, man. Hey, anytime you want to debate or chat, bro, I'm always free, man. I'm always free. I enjoy it. I enjoyed, you know, debating, and if anything, it reinforces what I know, and then it allows me to communicate the subject even better. So I get.
At least you recognize that I was an extroverted, intuitive hero. I mean, at least it's that. So
I mean, ENTP, bro. These ENTPs nowadays. It's gonna be a great video, man. Anything else, man? Thomas had to go.
All right, yeah. No, there's nothing else. So
well, let me know, man. I would just look into it, man, and
like do I just reach out to you via Facebook or something? Can I?
Yeah, you could Facebook, Discord, whatever, man. Look at Thomas. Thomas, where you going, man? Like a fucking.
I gotta go somewhere, but yeah, it was a fun one, man. You definitely have a lot of interesting, takes on things. So.
Right, Thomas? He believes ENFP and hilarious.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've heard crazier things than that, but yeah, that's pretty nuts.
I mean, okay, well, I'll do it. Okay, I'll look into it. I'll look into it.
If you would just look at my cognitive function videos, they're really good. It really took the time. The combination of Linda Barrens, Dario Nardi, John Beebe, and things that I've actually seen in real time from like typing videos. I believe they're probably like one of the best, if not the best, online. Just go check out the TI video and go check out the FI video. You'll notice the difference there, buddy. You'll notice the difference, especially when someone keeps beating the truth. Truth. Oh, I am the truth. That's basically what you are, a minister of the truth. But just go check it out, man. And let me know. I got a Discord. I'm on Facebook.
All righty. Well,
I'm looking forward to your response.
I will definitely look into it.
Yeah, and speed it up times 2. And
hopefully I can provide some analyses.
So. Yeah, I'm ready for it, man.
All right. Well,
it's been a pleasure, brother. Take it easy, man.
I hope you guys have a safe drive and have
Thanks,
a
buddy.
It's been a pleasure, man. All right, brother.
day. All right.
Peace out.